Hey guys, welcome back to BioHKT. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Nadeem, and we're back here at Float Valley today.
So Nadeem, what's been your hack for the last week?
Well, I've done a couple things this week. The major upgrade was switching my water filter to an alkaline reverse osmosis water filter.
Nice.
And that has been amazing. The water tastes incredibly better, and I can already feel the benefits from that.
So are you filling up before you leave the house?
Of course, and I just take a really large water bottle with me,
Yeah.
so that I have it for the full day.
Okay. How much water do you drink a day?
I usually try to get about 4 liters in. It depends
Wow.
what I'm doing. If I'm working out or I'm doing a
Yeah.
sauna, I'll drink a little bit more, but I try
Yeah.
to have at least a base of 4 liters.
Awesome.
Yeah. How about you? Do you drink a lot of water?
I do a minimum of 2 liters a day,
Good.
reverse osmosis or distilled.
Yeah.
But most of the times I have a reverse osmosis filtration system at home, so
Good.
that's a huge part of my biohacking.
Awesome. I also did an ice bath this week. We hosted
Nice.
another session.
Yeah.
It went really well. It's been a lot colder, so it's a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
Don't need as much ice. It's just naturally cold.
Nice. We
Yeah.
should actually let our viewers know that you are putting on ice baths at Float Valley.
Yep, once every 2.5 weeks or so. Yep.
So if you want to try a winter ice bath,
Gets a lot colder. It's a lot more intense.
yes.
Yeah.
So what else are you hacking?
I've obviously done a couple floats this week. I did a couple sauna sessions. I worked out at home since
Yeah.
the gyms have been closed. But
Yes.
yeah, how about you?
I've been in the sauna, the infrared sauna at Float Valley every night actually.
Every night.
Every night.
Wow,
And I've
okay.
introduced dry brushing.
Okay,
I
what's
dry
dry brushing?
brush. So it's basically stimulating the lymphatic system.
Okay,
And when you dry brush, also you dry brush in the direction of your digestive system. So
Okay.
just to sort of encourage bowel movements. And I dry brush before I get into the sauna.
okay.
And I've worked my way up to an hour and a half in the infrared sauna.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
quite a bit.
So
That's
I've
really quick.
experienced that 1 hour mark where the heart rate goes up.
Yes,
Yeah, so it's been really, really great in terms of focus, energy, sleep.
amazing.
I sleep like a baby.
Glad to hear.
Yeah. So what else? Have you been doing any other stuff? Because I know that you're always, every time I text you, you're always up to something new.
This week, I tried a new supplement called He Shou Wu. Have you heard of that before?
I have heard of it.
Yeah, so it's a Chinese supplement that helps with hair growth and changing the color of your hair. So I have a couple grays, so I thought I'd try it out
Awesome.
and see how it goes. It's more of a long-term thing, but we'll
Yeah.
see how it goes. I just tried it this week. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, great. So we are on episode 10. So far we've introduced 9 biohacking modalities.
Mhm.
And in today's episode, we are going to talk about our favorites and how we've been optimized doing them. So we started with ice bath, then we moved on to yoga with Alia, then we featured Sunil with the Love Logic, and calisthenics with Alex.
after that, we did nature-based yoga with Ellen, ozone sauna with Yelena. We visited Cas-based cafe with Kevin and Zelia, and then ended off with infrared sauna and flotation therapy. And now we're here, and we're gonna do a recap on the last 10 episodes. So our first episode was on ice baths. What have you taken from that, and how do you incorporate cold therapy into your schedule now?
Vagus nerve, vagus nerve, vagus nerve. So I have been doing the sauna every night,
Okay,
and I've been taking a really cold shower after
awesome.
each sauna session. So I had a very interesting question actually,
Yeah.
and I think our viewers might actually like this question. If your vagus nerve gets activated by cold, environmental factors, cold, would your vagus nerve be activated all the way through winter because you're exposed to cold, or do you have to do special exposure?
So unfortunately, no, I don't think that it would activate it enough to make a difference. The cold air doesn't transmit the cold temperature as quickly as water would. So dunking your head in the water of an ice bath or taking a cold shower with your face right under the cold is effective, whereas just air wouldn't be. So unfortunately, yoga centers are closed at the moment. Kind Yoga is closed just because of the weather, but also at the same time, they've closed yoga studios and gyms. And so I've had to take my practice indoors at home, which is a little bit different. I'm used to having someone guide me through them, but doing it at home has been fun, and it's kind of on my own schedule. And so I find that to be very relaxing.
Our third episode was Love Logic. So
Yeah.
that was chakra balancing, sound bowl therapy, and Reiki. And
Very powerful session.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So my second session with Sunel, I legit drooled. I drooled. I was face down and I was completely out of my body, and he was clearing my chakras.
Yeah.
And then when I woke up, there was a puddle of drool on the floor, which I'm very proud.
That's how you know you went deep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So one of the takeaways from that for me was I started playing a lot more with crystals.
Cool. Me too, actually. I've been researching them quite a bit lately.
Yeah, I've started wearing crystals more.
I've heard of like black tourmaline for protective energy, and so I'm planning to actually get some so that I can use it for that. A cool thing that I learned this week actually about crystals is that rose quartz has the ability to amplify vitamin D levels. And so
Really?
when you shine a vitamin D lamp through rose quartz, it can increase the vitamin D levels by 2 times, which is quite profound.
And calisthenics.
Yeah.
So
I
what do
will
you,
also had to take that home now. I mean, I'm doing a lot of like at-home workouts, and the nice thing about calisthenics is it's mostly body weight, so I don't really need too much equipment. I'm able to do my push-ups, pull-ups with a bar, dips, that kind of thing, all at home. Yeah.
So question for you, when you take a break from doing your calisthenics practice, is there sort of like a time period where you shouldn't go beyond that? Like if you take a week off or 2 weeks off, do you notice that your body is just harder to get back into it?
Yes, honestly, I notice it if I take off 2 or 3 days, because I've been doing it on a daily basis or some kind of workout on a daily basis. And if I take that break, then I'm kind of, going a little bit backwards, and then I have to work just a little bit harder to get back to where I was. So keeping up a consistency with working out and yoga is really important. Otherwise, you're just kind of doing double the work.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Hot Space Cafe, that was our food episode.
That was one of my favorite, for sure.
Yes.
That was amazing.
Everything about that episode was great, the vibes, the food, but what was your favorite dish?
For me, it was the saltfish. I really, really enjoyed that.
Had you had Caribbean style saltfish?
Never had it before.
Okay.
It was incredible.
You'll never want to have the real stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I remember having a conversation with you about eating, and you said at one point you had eaten the same thing for almost 2 years.
Yes, so I do meal prep,
Okay.
and so my lunch or my first meal of the day, my breakfast, is around 2 or 3 o'clock, and it's usually the same thing every day, whether it's chicken or flank steak, quinoa, rice, or sweet potato with some vegetables. It's pretty much the same meal every day. But I find it keeps me in a good line. At the same time, I don't really have to go and choose what I'm going to eat, and it's very healthy, so
Could you biohack on a cost-based menu every day for 2 years?
for sure.
100%.
For sure, 100%.
Yeah. And food is so important in biohacking,
Yes.
right? Because it fuels us. And as we had said in the episode, it's responsible for our moods, our skin, our digestion is, your digestive system is 80% of your immune system,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And sometimes when you eat in a hurry or you eat in a rush, you feel it.
Totally.
And also when you cook in a hurry and you cook in a rush. So Cost Space Cafe was definitely one of our favorites. And we really got to explore not the typical sort of meal prep.
Yes.
It was more healthy biohacking foods.
That tastes amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next we were at O3 Ozone Med Spa
With Yelena.
with Yelena.
Yes.
How did you like ozone therapy versus infrared therapy?
So ozone, my favorite part about the ozone therapy and the sauna experience was the oxygen. And I found that it really sort of drained the inflammation out. Because I did it the day before we filmed,
Yeah.
and I noticed a difference in terms of what my body was holding on to for my diet. I found ozone to be more of sort of like a detox, like a heavy detox feeling, and also calm. The infrared sauna it's a vacation, it's a getaway, because I do it every night, and I do it for 1.5 hours. There's more of a full spectrum sort of relaxation, like I'm listening to meditation, I'm using the media inside of there. I turn it off. I've got the lighting happening, the chromotherapy.
There's a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ozone sauna is a deep detox. If I really need a breakthrough that day where I wake up and it's just like I just feel off.
Yes.
And then I end off every night with infrared.
Totally. I like that.
So infrared it's a vacation for me.
That's awesome.
How do you feel about infrared? I know that you do infrared therapy every day. So.
I do it every day.
Yeah.
I find it to be incredible. Very similar to what you're saying is that it's a full body type of relaxation.
Yeah.
I like to use it as a multi-purpose tool. So when I'm in there, I can either brainstorm, or I can meditate, or I can read, or I can answer emails, or I can listen to music, or watch a movie. There's so many things you can do while you're in there. And so you feel like you're, spending a lot of good productive time, but at the same time you're getting your detox and healthcare. So
yeah. So I've also noticed muscular pains go away, have gone away, and stayed away when I've started the sauna.
I've noticed that too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard of delayed onset muscle soreness, DOMS. It's something that happens after you work out or you're doing some kind of exercise. I know that infrared saunas have been proven to be able to reduce the DOMS quite a bit. So a lot of people are using it for pain. I find personally that because I have the float tank available, that it's a lot better to go into that for pain reasons. Have you found any benefits through using floating for your pain?
So my first float,
Yeah.
I had a headache, and I decided to go into the float. And maybe about 5 minutes into flotation,
Yeah.
I fell asleep.
Wow, that's really quick.
Yeah, and I was told that you usually don't sleep in your first or second float.
Usually it's a little bit more of an adjustment.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I was actually really tired,
Okay.
and then I woke up about, I think it was probably 45 minutes later.
Sure.
My headache was completely gone.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's really cool that the Epsom salts, the magnesium in the tank, can absorb through your skin like that, and it's so fastly effective,
Right.
right? Because within 30, 40 minutes, usually people are, they have to take an ibuprofen or
Yeah.
some kind of pain medication to be able to deal with that kind of pain, because it can sometimes be splitting headaches and
Right.
things like that. Whereas the magnesium is a super fast way of doing it naturally.
If you fall asleep during a flotation session, are you still getting the benefits? Because technically your mind's not on to, in most of our therapies that we do, like massages and anything that we do, we're usually somewhat awake to enjoy it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
But floating, if you fall asleep, are you still getting any benefits?
In my opinion, yes. So I think that when you're in the float tank, your body kind of goes back to what it needs to do, whether it needs to sleep or whether it needs to stay awake and think about what happened yesterday or the day before, or if it just needs to heal in terms of muscle soreness and pain. So if you fell asleep in there, it's probably an indication that your body was tired, that it needed the sleep. And so to be able to get back to that homeostasis, it puts you into a sleep. So that when you come out of it, you feel like you're back to normal. So in that case, yes, you do get the benefits from sleeping. At the same time, you're getting the magnesium absorbing through your skin. So even if you're not in a meditative state and you're not thinking of new creative ideas, you're still getting that magnesium, and you're still going to get a really nice night's sleep after that.
So flotation therapy is definitely like something that I want to get into more. I don't float as much as I should,
Mm-hmm.
but you're floating how many times a week?
I'm trying for at least 4 minimum.
Wow.
And I'm finding that's incredible, because if I space it out too much, like I wait a week in between, then it's a lot harder to get into that mental state. But as I keep the practice up, it gets better and better, and I feel like there's a lot more to explore, even though I've done quite a few floats.
Thanks for joining us on today's milestone episode, guys. We've got some super cool episodes coming up featuring some hacks like Lucia Light.
The Lucia Light's a hypnagogic light. It allows you to enter very deep states of meditation very easily.
And we've also got an in-depth episode on CBD coming up. We've got episodes on homeopathy and auricular medicine.
Don't forget to stay tuned for our next episode. Please follow us on Instagram and check out our YouTube channel, BioHKT, by clicking the link below.